These people came up together. They did dirt together, X, Y, and Z. Like, they made music, they made money together. 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, whatever it might be. And you can't call upon your fucking friend anymore. Cameron ain't taking the Dame Dash call. Cameron's definitely not taking a Jim Jones call. All right? It hurts.
Pin it up. All right. So what are your thoughts on the whole Dame Dash versus Jay-Z situation? And like you were mentioning earlier, every interview, it's Dame Dash talking about Jay-Z and some of the stuff he's talking about now.
There's nothing else to ask. You want, I mean, look, every situation, I feel for Dame because Dame was someone as well from an executive standpoint. Of course we look up to Dame Dash. How could you not? How could you not? Like, I look up to Leah Cohen, Steve Rifkin, Steve LaBelle, Brian Shafton, Russell Simmons, even present day like a West Side Gun. Props, you know? Look what Dame built. But it all got torn down and taken away from him. By the time I met Dame Dash and people like, you two should work together, I had zero interest. And now he's running around like he's in Indiana, like Minneapolis, like looking for artists and stuff. He's promoting the Nikki Licky chick, saying she's better than Cameron and is the white Aaliyah. It's like, dog, there's nothing there. Every scenario ended poorly. Okay, the Jay-Z thing ended poorly. The resurgence of Dipset, no. Like Cameron, you know, no. Currency, no. BlackRock, no. The art gallery, not like everything gets shut down. Everything just ends in shit. And I don't fault him for that because people will act however they want. A lot of times when people hear my stories, they're like, perhaps you are the denominator of fault. I don't believe that. Perhaps he doesn't believe that. Okay? It's unfortunate. There's literally nothing you can ask the guy that's not going to be some kind of like controversial whatever. Because he was the top of the top. He was the top brass at one time. And then Jay matured. And Jay said, I don't want to be in this element. There's that video where you can see them all yelling backstage, and Jay's just like, you know, people say that was the moment. Like, you already knew, I'm beyond this. I'm moving on. I'm doing big. Jay has that RZA mentality. Let me see what's out there in the world outside of Staten Island, outside of Shaolin. Jay, let me see what's going on in the world outside of Brooklyn. Yes, I'm on tour. I'm seeing different places, meeting different people. Let me see who else can be of benefit to me. That's that. So I feel, you know, it was interesting when, you know, I had the house in Sherman Oaks, and when me and Nicole were looking for a new home, we looked at Dame's house. That was Rachel Ray's or whoever he was with. It was nice. It was nice. We didn't get it, but I liked it. That would have been funny if I would have moved into Dame's house.
All right. Well, what year was it that you had a chance to work with him?
It was when he launched. He had just launched the DD-172. My friend Shay had a hand in the rock box. Do you remember the rock box?
Right.
No, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. That, for those at home that don't know what the rock box was, it was fucking awesome. It was an iPod that came out literally after like the first ever iPod. And it came uploaded with the entire Roc-A-Fella catalog on it. And then, of course, just like an iPod, you could upload all the music you want to. It was awesome. Like, great idea. That shit could have gone the distance. But, of course, they didn't have the funds like Apple did to really make iPod go big, you know? My friend Shay introduced us at the opening of the art gallery in New York. I had flown in from Indy. And at the time, he was also launching, I think, like, whatever BlackRock was on, like the new label. Was BlackRock also the label and the name of the album?
I believe so. I believe it was.
Okay. It was just at that point in time. And let's see, what was I doing right then there? I already had Almighty. I had Wu-Tang Clan Culture. I had Jizz Out. I had Bronze and the Wise Men, Canibus, Keith Murray.
This sounds like 2005, 2006.
No, it's not. No.
No?
This was around the time Jay-Z did the 8 Nights of Barclays, whenever Barclays Center opened up. This is literally in the same time frame. So we'll find the date. I think it was later. It was definitely after
Oh,
2008.
2012.
Okay, I
2012?
was gonna say it was after 2008 and before 2013. So it was 2012. Okay, great. That's when it was. And it was nice to meet him and let him know like how much I appreciate all his contributions. But as far as work goes, I wasn't interested. I just we never talked after that one talk.
Do you think Jay-Z's career would be where it's at now without Dame Dash? Because it always seemed like Dame was the one that went in there and did the difficult conversations for business.
If anyone understands what Dame Dash did, or what Biggs did, or what
Right.
Haven or Sauce Money, it's me. I fucking understand more than your average because I can see myself in these people, in Dame Dash, pause. In the executive role because I get it. Every artist has this, no one was there for me. I got it out the mud. I did this all my own. How often do you hear stories where people like, I want to give thanks to this guy and this guy, let me do this and do this. I over credit in my records because if you did any fucking minuscule thing to make this shit go, I want you to be acknowledged. People have the hardest time giving it up. Okay. So yes, I know that Dame had to be hella integral in the launch of Roc-A-Fella Records, in the launch and promulgation of Jay-Z's career, until Jay-Z was big enough to the point where he could fucking assemble his own dream team if he wanted. If you upset this guy one time, he could fucking swap you out for someone that had a comparable resume. It was no longer about we grew up together. We built this together. It was about who the fuck do I want to be around that doesn't piss me off, that will allow me to fucking run my program. I get that fully. So if I were to sit here and be like, well, Jay-Z said if you designed Hove, make another Hove. You can't ever make another Hove, bro. There's only one Hove. There's only one Nas. There's only one Rakim. Okay? But we're not going to act like Dame Dash did not have a helping hand.
Why do you think that it's so easy for people to dismiss other people's contributions like that, though? To be like, oh, like because of where Dame is right now, they act like he never did anything, like he wasn't a part of the process.
I don't even look at it like that. I don't look at it like because the man's like clearly down and out. I don't look at it like that. I look at it like as a fan, you don't give a fuck. You care about the music.
Mm.
That being said, did you write the song? No. Did you perform the shit? Did you rap the shit? So shut the fuck up. I'm 1,000% certain that's how people feel about me because they don't understand what all goes into me and putting on for any of these records. Okay. I help the artist A&R construct the album, the songs, A&R administration, all the clerical, legal work behind the business administration of the music, shopping the record deals, the distribution deals. Once that's in place, then I become a liaison between the artist and label for PR coordination, marketing, advertising, sync licensing, radio, touring, all that shit. But at the end of the day, yes, you're happy to see your artist shining. He's doing the press. He's on the road, like all the things someone like a me or a Dame Dash or whoever might have a hand in. But that only matters in the here and now. Like when that is present, in the history books, it's all about how good was the music. You're not looking at
Mm.
the liner notes like an encyclopedia or a novel, and then you go back and check at the end of the book to see like what was reference 89. Oh, they're like, well, the source material. I am the source material, okay? But what's more important than me, and what will always be more important than me? The artist. I don't exist without the artist. Dame Dash can't exist without the artist. Simple.
Right, right.
Again, intelligent enough to understand the totality of the perspective.
What do you think of his diss track Cheap Teeth?
Dude, and for someone that says pause as much as Dame Dash, you made a song about a man's teeth. I don't think about it.
Cinnamon Doo Doo?
I don't think about it. I just, listen, he's hurt, bro. He's fucking hurt. He grew up building, he made Cameron the fucking what? VP of the Rock?
Right.
The president? Well, he was one of those roles. Clearly, he's hurt, bro. Clearly, Jim Jones is hurt. These people came up together. They did dirt together, X, Y, and Z. Like, they made music, they made money together. 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, whatever it might be. And you can't call upon your fucking friend anymore. Cameron ain't taking the Dame Dash call. Cameron's definitely not taking a Jim Jones call. All right? It hurts. I get it. These people don't know how to fucking, like, control their emotion.
So when you analyze what Dame is doing now, is is it just clout chasing in your eyes? Like anything for attention so that he can get these interviews, or what is it exactly?
I mean, people pay for the interviews. So you got to keep talking. So people want to interview you. I don't know, like, Dame, he has movies I'm sure he gets money from. He has albums I'm sure he gets royalties from. He has a clothing brand. I don't know if the art gallery, like, he makes money. But again, how much debt are you in? How much money is really money to you at the end of the day? Great example. I talked to Pat this morning, Pat, aka Divine Bars, DMX's former manager. Every bit of work I did with DMX the last 6 years of his life involved Pat. Okay. When DMX re-signed to Def Jam, they appointed Steve Rifkin to be his manager, essentially like kind of fucking Pat, who'd always been there. DMX, they pick him up. If you've seen this documentary, I think it was Showtime or HBO or one of those. They pick
I
him
think it
up.
was HBO.
They take him to Def Jam. He thinks he's getting $500,000. Okay. He's ecstatic. This is like the opening scenes of the documentary. He signs the deal. They give him a check for like 40 grand or something. He's like, what? And like, well, we had to pay $200,000 in bad child support and $160,000 in fines, outstanding fines, and blah, 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 blah. All these liens. You see where I'm going with that analogy? DMX's mood the whole rest of the documentary is like, fuck. I've literally worked with DMX on certain one day at a time where I brought more than $43,000 in business to the table. And now you're signed back to Def Jam and this is how they treat you? You should have taken care of that man's debts and given him $500,000. I mean, how many albums did he sell for you? Like fucking 20 million? You follow me? That
Right.
was super disrespectful. And the whole mood of the documentary shifts because he knows, I'm back in the bullshit. Back in the fucking bullshit. 5 minutes of happiness to then a whole doc of sadness thereafter. So Dave Dash, does it really matter how much money you touch when maybe a small fraction is actually hitting your pockets? I have certain artists that I work with that have 10 plus kids, okay? 4 or 5 plus baby mamas. How much money do they actually get to spend on themselves? If they're being good, like responsible fucking parents, fathers, providers, the answer is minimal. But then again, you have people that like, fuck those kids, fuck those bitches, like, and just look out for themselves. I could never. That's what it is.
Right.
Ultimately, I feel bad for Dame Dash. I'm a huge Jay-Z fan. Again, I'm objective to the point where I understand both their contributions, but the fans don't give a fuck. We like Jay-Z. I think the fans would have loved it. There was that AI video of like Dave Dash coming out and wanted to, yeah, that would have been awesome. If Kanye West would have come out, that would have been the coolest thing ever.
Right.
I was really hoping he would have come out for Run This Town.
That's crazy, man. But do you feel like for Dame, it's embarrassing what he's doing right now at his age.
I would be embarrassed if I were in Dame's shoes. Like, it might just be a case of he doesn't want to do anything else with his life but this. He was definitely, like I said, he was at the top of the game. How do you go and transition to being anything but, you know? I said in an interview I did the other day, like, even before Chino had the stage 4 cancer, and he was like, it's eating away at my brain. I can't function. I can't write. Chino, on the financial side of things, could have never done anything but be the artist, Chino XL. That's all he ever wanted to do. It wasn't a pride thing. It was just he had knowledge of self. I can only be the rapper. Dame Dash, I think even if there was opportunities for him to make money and just like live a whole different life, would never allow himself to do that. Because then he think with people, he's someone who definitely cares what people think of him. I do not. I do not at all. Because I do right by my loved ones, and that's what all that matters to me. Um, so yeah, it would be embarrassing if I were in Dame Dash's shoes.
But he still
If
has a
my
lot to
career,
give.
if my career ever got to that point, I would find an exit plan and start a whole new life because I'm a realist and I know that providing for myself and family is quintessential. I don't need to be in the limelight. I enjoy talking to you, so I do these interviews. I turn down hundreds a year that I see no fucking benefit in. It has nothing to do about a money play or not. Dame, I think, can't do anything else like Chino in that scenario. Like it was either be Chino XL or be nothing. So Dame has to talk all the shit. Dame's essentially living his own life like he has a show like Cameron. The difference is Cameron gets paid 7 figures to do his show, and Dame just kind of has to pick up the scraps where he can.
But don't you feel like Dame still has a lot to contribute? Like, why does he choose to be around these artists like a Nicky Licky? Like, he could be around super talented people that could actually still go
The
somewhere.
the people that are super talented, that are of name value, they don't want to work with him because they know the horror stories of like him taking liberties with the finances. Okay. They don't want to
Mm,
avail themselves. Like, how could Dame Dash help a Cameron or a Jim Jones or a Joel Santana in the present day? Remember, he tried. And they're like, this dude's fucking stealing from us. Like, so that didn't work. So Dame could assert himself into building a new talent, like a Nicky Licky. Okay, that's the example you gave. What is of a hindrance to Dame Dash is he doesn't want to do the work to do it himself. How he built Roc-A-Fella. He wants someone to come in and fund the operation now. The only problem with that is it's all the same label heads. Like 80% at least are the same fucking faces and names from when he was doing his Roc-A-Fella shit. They don't want to fucking give this guy the time of day.
right, right.